Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. How about today? It was a pretty green day again. Mag 7 even closed green, looking good, looking good. So, of course, we're going to go through the market, see what's going on and what's happening for tomorrow. But first, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and I'll make sure I switch it over so you guys can see the charts tonight. And there you go. Like I said, it did close pretty green. I'm not so sure it's going to be popping tomorrow. I think we had an overreaction and then we might have a little pullback. But of course, we're going through everything tonight. And what's up, everybody? Matthew over there following on Stock Twits for the first time. Yeah, we try to pick them right. No one's perfect, Matthew, but we do a pretty good job. I'm not going to lie. And Blue Collar Teamster, Laptop Travel, and Luis Rodriguez, and everybody else, Barbara and the rest of the crew. Who else is hopping on? All kinds of people I see. So I wish I knew exactly who was hopping on, though. But here we go. Doge Mom and Nine's hopping on and everybody else. So we'll get cruising. We have quite the list and quite a lot of poppers today that we were all over from last night and the last few days. So let's take a look and see what we're getting into. And our logic mark, I feel like it just like slept through today. It just didn't even move. It just was hanging out, not doing anything. I don't know what it was up to, but here we go. Let's take a look at it and see what's up right here. I think I moved the microphone. Let me see. If I do this, a lot of times it shuts it off, but hold on a second. I got to move this thing over. I was shifting things around. All right, it stayed on, I know, because I'm looking at the settings. All right, now I'm better. I moved it and I forgot to move it back, and I was like way over too far. So here we go. Now I feel better. I can actually look at the computer. I feel like I was like off to the left a little bit. I couldn't even see what was going on. All right, here we go. Logic mark. And again, it just was in hibernation today. It wasn't doing anything. It literally jumped up, jumped down. I don't even know if it really went down at all. It did touch the 8. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that it got down into. I probably would have bought more if I had seen that. I didn't even see it. I just literally saw it right around the 9 cents, and I thought it opened around that area, but it says it opened at 0.0083, and obviously that could have been a 4 a.m. where I was not trading it. Good evening, Luis Rodriguez and Sam. How's Sam? He's always on, and so many of you on every night. I greatly appreciate it. You know that, and I love doing the show, going through, hanging out. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, X is just like not fun anymore because anytime you post, it used to be a great time, tons of comments, and now it's just immediately it's like 4 bots that are telling you the same nonsense about nonsense and all scams and spams, and yeah, it's just not exciting. So that's why I was like, man, I haven't really been posting, and I feel like it's not as fun, but we get to have fun on the show. So that's why I talk about the show all the time, and we now everything. So I was already thinking, I'm like, you know what? I don't think it really matters if we really post much. I come on, we know that we do the show every 7 a.m. every day, 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. That's why I sent that tweet out and pinned it today. And it was a wild ride for that Trump's meme coin, and I'm glad yours writes FIR too. I'm telling you, Luis Rodriguez, we have the same exact, the same stupid autocorrect, because mine writes fur for it, and you wrote that SND the other day, and that drives me nuts too, and changes like every time. And I'm telling you, write the word right, and then at the end of the sentence, it just like changes these words around like you've never seen it before. It's bizarre. But anyway, that's life with an iPhone and I guess autocorrect. And I don't know if the other one, Android, does it, but I know my iPhone does it. It makes me insane. And I've even reset the stupid thing so that it doesn't like have any memory of the things, and it still does it. I don't even know. It's like it's programmed in there now. I don't get it. But anyway, it just caught my eye. And yeah, definitely a wild ride. That thing went from like 9 to 13 something today. So that was cruising. ETF's just kind of hanging out right around 7 million market cap. Seems like somebody's just, like I said, dumping it off. And the last time it did this, like straight down, didn't even really go down, just kind of jumped around, had a red candle. The next thing you knew, it jumped up a level. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on that. And FFAI, some potentially significant updates being announced tomorrow during the aftermarket. How about that? and Nader was on point. I mean, we're coming up to May, and is that crazy or what, guys? Just alone on that one, if you didn't see the Trend Spider show that day, Nader went through and he was just picking out like, seasonal ones, and apparently FFAI runs every single May like 100%. It's bizarre. And yeah, and now Luis Rodriguez just said that it has some news, so we'll make sure we go over that as well. I think it's on the list, but if not, it is now. And let's get cruising because we do have a bunch. And I know the laptop travel list, I honestly was going to go through them. I started to mark them off to see, and there were so many good ones. I barely even skipped any, so I was like, I guess we're just going through them all just because there was a bunch of them there, and I was trying to speed it up, but I don't even think I can, so I'll just get cruising and let me take a drink. And actually, I got a new cup at Dougie Fresh Picks Cup. And honestly, how can you drink out of these things? Like, I love the metal. I really don't like plastic bottles at all, but I just use them down here. And my wife got me this for my birthday, and then I'm like, I can't drink out of it. Like, how the water barely comes out of that thing, so I just have to like throw the lid on it and just do it that way. I know they come with straws, but I'm not that. I don't want a straw either, so I guess I'm just drinking it. But it is. I love the Great Bear. Or Deer Park, whatever the hell you call it anymore. I think they changed their name like 50 times, but the 5-gallon jugs, and that's like the best water. I had it my entire life. We've always had that, and I'm telling you, it is so good. So if you don't have a good water source, and it seems like everybody's water source is terrible anymore, definitely look into the delivery of them 5-gallon jugs. They also have like 2.5 or 3 gallons or something. I don't know, but it comes in the little dispenser and you pop it on there. I'm telling you, that water is the best water, and that's what I prefer. And so, yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, well, I'll just have to take the lid off. But anyway, let's roll. Enough talking about nonsense and what's going on in life here. And let's look at Logic Mark, because that slept through the entire day today. Like I said, it just did absolutely nothing. At 41 million in volume, I knew it was up there. I saw it and it had like over 20 million, and that's why I was like joking, like, is this thing just like sitting here with that kind of volume? Look at it. It just sat there. It didn't do anything today. It was kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. And it was so curled up yesterday, looking great, and then just went into hibernation. But again, look how close it is, guys. It's right. I mean, it was right there yesterday. It's really right there now. So we're keeping an eye on this bad boy tomorrow. And that is our Logic Mark, and we're watching it. It is like right there. So let's watch that. And this AGMH, this one ran up over 100% today. And we were looking at it. Is it going to continue to run? A lot of times they like to come out this basement and just pull back to that line. So just be careful. It could run up early in the morning. We know they like to do that at 4 a.m. like this. So just be careful. You could see a little pullback tomorrow, but get an early morning run. So just watch for that guy on a little momentum after today. And I'm telling you, this next one too is, I think, going to be a star tomorrow. AREB. Keep an eye on this thing, guys. This thing looks like that. We've watched it before, and we caught it right after the split when it did run up, and now it came back, and we were watching it. It's been on our list. And now it made this base, and it is trying to curl up, and we know they like to roll up, and it had that little look like it wanted to pull back down or push down, but it just kind of pulled itself up. And when it has that look, guys, they get ripping, and it looks like this thing just wants to get ripping again and potentially get back over like that $20, and you're at $3 right now. What did it start off with at the split? Because I remember it was low. It was like $1 or $2, and then it just started ripping there. It went from like $1.42 to $8.45, guys, and we're at 3. I'm telling you, it looks really good. So we're definitely watching this one in the morning, and keep an eye on that tomorrow. Make sure you have that on your list, guys, early in the morning, because that one does look good, and we'll keep an eye. And why did the market pull back from the highs after 10 a.m.? Yeah, I just think it was I think it was just the overreaction of the old Trump thing, and saying, he's not going to fire Powell, and obviously not push China's tariffs or go lighter, whatever the hell he said, go softer. And honestly, there's no trade deals done yet. There's no deals or anything done. I don't think that they're not talking to anybody, but in writing, we have nothing really in concrete yet, which is fine. And again, this mark, they're bouncing it around. I think we kind of know what's going on, and you got to still play it accordingly. And and you just see these big overreactions. And that's why I think we might see a little pullback tomorrow, because obviously it was a huge overreaction. Basically 2 days, you run them up 2 days, and then sometimes you see that pullback, especially in this market. And that's how they want it to look, because they want to control what's going on, buying time. And remember, guys, who was saying a week or two ago about Trump trying to starting to pressure Powell, and exactly what he started to do? I mean, he started to pressure him and talk about the firing and this and that, and then what he was doing. I don't have to explain it all, but remember, I was talking about that a week before it happened, and you saw it exactly happen. He put it out there, and now I'm pretty sure the Fed has a meeting. I don't know if it's like an emergency one. I don't think it is. I think it's a scheduled one, but I do have like some sort of meeting coming up in a few days, and we'll see what happens, because the pressure's there. And honestly, there's really no reason that they can't lower the rates. Remember, they lowered the rates like 3 weeks before an election, guys, and then inflation was flying high at that time. So if they're saying it's not political, I don't know. You better look back in history and see what the hell happened. And remember what I said at the time, when it should only been a point, 2.5 or 2, whatever, and he made it a 0.5%. And I said the only reason why he was doing it was to screw Trump when he gets in. We can pull the tapes, because I know I said it on here, and it's exactly what happened, guys. I mean, they saw what was going on. And again, if they act like it's not political, I don't know what they can act like it is, because there you go. There's the facts right there, and we spell it out real easily, and that's what goes on. So I don't see how they don't pull the rates back and see what's going to happen, because I mean, the country, it's not in a bad shape right now, and you're in the middle of a trade war, and he's still keeping things popping. So he clearly has shown them that he controls the market, like I said, and then he would apply that pressure, which you're starting to see. And between the two of them, they have to start to pull them rates back down. And if they do, I'm telling you guys, you'll start to see deals coming out, and the markets will just get cruising. So that's what you're looking at, and how long it's going to happen is beyond me, but that's exactly what's going to be that's what's going to happen. I mean, you're going to see that happen, that pressure, and what you're seeing, and then they're going to have to pull them rates down for us, and say, look, we'll drop them down, see what happens. And yeah, he's going to have a field day, because he has so much. There's so much to refinance in basically a couple months, and from COVID. And so, yeah, they don't have really much of a choice, guys. So I look at it, and again, we'll leave politics off the table. I don't care one way or the other, but you can't say it's not a political thing. When they lowered the rates 3 weeks before the election, and inflation was flying high, guys, it was insane. So I would say that's kind of politically motivated, if you were to ask me. So there you go, and that's what we're looking at. BSLK. Remember this one we looked at and yesterday, and knew this one was running up. Didn't this do the old reverse splitter right here? And yeah, this was the reverse splitter, and it did look good. And bam, I know a couple of you nailed this one, because we were looking at it and it looked good. And remember, we saw this one on the scanner, guys, this JYD. And remember, it was way down here looking good. This ran over 150%, 160% right there just today. We looked at it yesterday, guys, opened at 19. It went soaring. And so, yeah, that one was a great one this morning and today, honestly. And it opened at 12.5, got up to 32 cents right there. And it's at 24 and still not looking bad, but we'll see if it wants to cross through right there. But obviously a great hit today for that one. And that was JYD and BTOG, Bit Origin right here. This one's curling up and looking really good today, and we liked this yesterday. So look at this bad boy, got over to 20, wasn't looking bad. I don't know how it looked in the after hours. It did spike up there to the 24. It's back to about 16, so we'd have to look at it tomorrow. It does look like it could have that pullback, but we liked that yesterday as well. And also this TWG, remember Top Wealth Group, just started to run in the after hours. It was up like 7 cents in the after hours. I know, I saw it and I was watching it. 14, it was at 1.1420 right there, and it got up to 24.5. It closed at like 18.5. So yeah, it got right up there in the after hours. It ran up, so I did see that. And there you go. That was another one that we looked at, an APDN. This one did pull back a little. It ran yesterday. It did pull back. It's still in the basement, just getting set up right here. Maybe it'll level back out right there and then get moving again. So we're still keeping our eye on it. It doesn't look bad, I'm not going to lie. So we're definitely going to watch it. Whether it's going to pop tomorrow, I'm not so sure about that, but it is just moving in the right direction, trying to move itself up and get cruising there. So and there you go at APDN. And let's see what's going on with DGLY right here. This one wasn't too bad today, just kind of sitting around, not doing a whole lot. Ran up, ran back, and let's see where it's closed at. It opened at 3 and it closed just under 3. And like I said, it ran up just a little bit, not much. You can see like literally not much, and then pulled back a little bit. And it was just kind of sitting there too, not doing a whole lot today. So we will keep an eye on that one. DGLY, we've been watching that one. And Damon, DMN, Damon right there. Let's see what this one wants to do. This one has that flat look also. And remember, this was at like the 0.003. It did move up a little bit today, and a little bit of movement is going to be like 5, 10, 15%. So just keep your eye on this because you can kind of see it trying to get set up. And I don't think they announced a reverse split. And I'm amazed that they didn't announce anything because this thing's under a penny, like way under there. And, I would think they would try to get delisted off of there because you can't really be operating that low. But I guess you have 10 days. Like maybe they have to run it 10 days like that. So yeah, they might be really trying to push this up back to a penny. So the Junkyard Dog JYD. Remember the Junkyard Dog back in the day in wrestling? He was the man. But yeah, that's funny. JYD, the Junkyard Dog. But yeah, that was the Junkyard Dog today. And yeah, this Damon, he's a Damon too. He's like a demon right here running flat. But like I said, I would assume that they need to get this back over a penny or reverse split it, one or the other. But I think it wants to try to move. We're just going to look for that movement right there on that DMN and SUNE. That one did run up today after the split, and it did dip back down yesterday. And then today it was trying to move around. It wasn't a whole lot, 262 to 289. And I guess maybe it ran up in the after hours because it was not really running a whole lot today from what I remember. 266 to 305, and it closed at 280 there. So and there you go. I think that one started to run later on. And but maybe not. It was up there and says it pulled back. I don't know. I looked at it earlier. It wasn't up that high, but there you go. It is up that high now. So that's your SUNE, and we'll have to look at that because look at it making a base, trying to get out of that basement and curl. So not looking too bad on that close right there for SUNE, and that is Sun Nation Energy and BDRX. This was running up a little bit today. Not a whole lot. It did pull back, but it did run up a little, and it didn't look bad. It was trying to push into the 20. And like I said, we were watching to see if it wants to roll off here. And we'll give it like one more day and see if it really wants to get curled up. Like I said, it was trying to really push in there, and it has a big channel. It could get moving. So we will keep an eye on it. It does kind of look like it wants to curl up there. It's just been taking its time. So we'll take our time with that and keep an eye on it. And this hit was run up there today too, and then also pulled back. HIT, we looked at this one as well, and it did run up 68 to 70, and then it pulled back. It closed at 65. And another one doesn't look terrible. It did have that little pullback look there at the end of the day. So I'll look at it tomorrow and see if it wants to go down. If it does, we'll just drop it off the list and not worry about it. And how about Clue right here? That was up another 15 cents today. And another one that we've been looking at, and look at that in that channel. And again, guys, this thing could get cruising. We were watching it and talking about this small cap China one right here. And look at it. It's getting right on that 20. The 50 is not too far off. It's in the $3 range, and we're at $1.85. You can kind of see it right there. But it's at 333 just about. And yeah, if it gets through that, guys, I mean, there is like it could go crazy. And these things, we know that they do it. LICN was also up a little bit more today, and then it looks like it pulled back. But I did see that, and that was curled up earlier, not looking bad. You can see 342 to 370 and came back to that 342. So open and close down there. But that was up earlier. I did see that one, and it didn't look bad. We'll have to look at it. It did pull back a little bit, but not terrible. And UOKA, this one's one to keep an eye on, guys. guys. We noticed likes to run. It got way down there, and this could pop up there at any moment. And again, this one's just wild. I don't know what the heck goes on with this real estate one in the UK, but something goes on with this thing because it does jump up quite a bit and all the time. So just it jumps up pretty big all the time, I meant to say. So yeah, just keep an eye on this thing, and it does look like it's trying to run back up here, and then we'll see if it can get in the channel and it curls through or it curls back up. So we'll look at that one. But again, that one does like to run around a lot. And HEPA right here, good old HEPA wasn't looking bad. Remember, we were saying it could be that bottom yesterday, and it potentially could be. It did try to move a little bit today, 29 to 30 and a half, which is still a movement, and it closed at 28. So it was trying to move. I did see it, and you can see it was trying to roll. And then again, maybe it's building that base, and that was the bottom yesterday. So keep your eye on that, and that is good old HEPA. And let's see what OCGN is doing, and that was up another 2 cents. And look at it running up here, guys. And I mean, you couldn't have played that one any more perfect than we did right there. Look at that, guys. I mean, can you call that any better? I mean, God, Jesus, that should be on like Wall Street Hall of Fame right there, calling that thing from months ago in a downward trend, knowing that it was going to bounce up and go up like that. That's a beauty, and it's just getting started. Look at this thing getting set up right here. So they had something going on, and we could see it months ago. And I'm not sure, it doesn't really say anything except for is it the best penny stock to invest in under $1? And who's that? Insider Monkey. I don't even know if I ever heard of that, but whatever. And but we already knew 3 months ago this thing was good, and we even knew where the bottom was because we identified that with no problem. So yeah, that was a pretty nice one. It did. It ran way up here that one time to what, 80 cents. And it looks like it's about to go even higher than that. So there you go at OCGN, and that one's a really nice one. And ICON, and like I said, I don't know what the heck's going on over there, but something's happening. And ICON, another one, it ran up a little bit today. I know that, and we did like this one. And it did come back down 206 to 244, but now it's at 204. So that is another one that we did like, and it did run up. And now we'll watch. It might pull back a little bit tomorrow. You can see it was trying to get out of the basement, obviously didn't, and did not. And we'll see if that 20, it'll try to cut it and then try to curl back up. So we'll look for that, but we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. And ALLR was not looking too bad today. And look at it, trying to push over that trend line, and it's trying to curl up. It does look good. It closed at 102, which is a pretty good price right there. It got up to 110. So yeah, ALLR, that's another one that's not looking bad right there. So you might want to keep your eye on that one. And that FMTO, that did dip down. I think it ran yesterday, right? I know it was down today, and yeah, it did run yesterday. I kind of remember, but it is curled up here, and let's look at it and see what it wants to do. And it did have, it had the reverse split yesterday. That's right. And then it ran up a little bit, and today 664. Oh, it ran up probably early this morning, guys, and then it came back down. But it looks like it closed even higher. It was lower. What's this say? 675. So yeah, it must have ran back up in the after hours because it was down. I know it was earlier, so I did see that. And then obviously in the after hours it ran back up. Might have to keep an eye on that one. And played OCGN in COVID times from 4 to 15. I did the exact same thing, Matthew. That's how I know the company, and I'm familiar with it. And yeah, that's actually how it grabbed my attention. It was still on a watch list, and from them COVID times, and there you go. And I saw it, and I was like, man, they got something going on. I could see it going in this trend, and we watched it. I mean, everyone will tell you 3 months ago we've been watching it for that long, and I was just like, we're watching this thing get down, and then it hit that bottom. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, this thing's gonna curl up and end up in like this bullish trend. They have something going on. It did exactly that. But yeah, it was a really good one during COVID too. Apparently they were supposed to have some COVID vaccine. They didn't, but it was a really nice pop. So yeah, you're familiar with that one as well. And yeah, they got something going on right now. I have no idea. Again, I don't look at the news, but I do remember COVID, and I had enough time to look at whatever you wanted to back then because you had all the time in the world, and I wasn't really doing the show, so I was just messing around looking at like vaccine companies and nonsense like that. But yeah, that was good old COVID times, and hopefully we never do that again. That was insanity too. All the insane things that goes on in this country. But anyway, here we go. And OCGN was a good play back then, and it seems to be a decent one again. So there you go with that one. And FMTO, this one is a little flat, but it did curl up a little bit, ran up, like I said, and came up in the after hours, it says. So we'll have to look at it because I didn't notice, but it does say it was up there. And I'll look at it tomorrow morning for sure right there. FMTO and UAMY. This thing just keeps running up, guys. Look, it pulled back and continued to run up. Now we'll see if it can get back into the top. If it does, you know it's going to get over that 360 and really run. So keep an eye on it. Play like music with this thing with the lid. UAMY though. But yeah, that thing, like I said, if it gets over here, it's going to really pop. I didn't put gold on here, but I'm going to jump over to gold real quick because I just thought of it. And because if it ran into the top, remember we were looking at it and it was up here a little higher right there. It was touching them tops right there. And it obviously made a big resistance and pulled back big time today on gold. Now, is it going down completely? I don't know. It could. We know when they come down to that MACD, they like to roll back up, but the 20's over top of it, so it could force it down. We will definitely look at it tomorrow. All the gold ones, GDX, they all have like that kind of similar look, but this one came out of the top. And remember, this is what we were looking at actually, because this is the gold miners ETF. And it gave you a good idea. And remember what I was saying, if it got into the top, it would run. But if it did not get in there, forget about it. It was done. And you can see I was watching it. It just wouldn't get into the top. If it got in there, I was going to jump on gold just for that last bit, because it was like, oh, man, it looks like it has a last wind. And that's what you had to look for. And we were talking about it on the small cap show. And yeah, it just did not get in there. And that's exactly what I was looking at. JNUG, a bunch of them came down. You can see they all had that look right there. Look at it, was hitting that line. I know we went over it the other night, but it just reminded me. And but yeah, that's exactly what happened right there. And you can even see NUG right there. So yeah, they did not get through right there. And right here that you could see they tried to push through, they didn't get into that top, and then boom, they came right down. And now I think we're going to get that roll off the MACD. You have a good support down here on just about all of them. So I think that's what we're looking at for gold. And just kind of went off on that one because, like I said, the UAMY was kind of doing the same thing. It just kind of reminded me of gold, but this one looks like it wants to get in there. But again, you have that resistance. I can't promise you, but you know what you're looking at, because that's why I gave you that example. And this gave us the example with gold, and it obviously hit that top, and that's why I said make sure it gets in there, and it's really trying to move. If it gets in there and really wants to move, they've been running. You can see once they get in here, look at that movement it gets. It moves. So you don't have to worry about that, but you have to worry about them actually getting into that top. So that is not the time to short gold yet. No, I don't think so. Like I said, I think it was a little bit of pullback right there. And again, we were looking at it yesterday just to see, and the day before to see Monday, to really see if they could get into that top again. And if they could, just like this wants to push in there, maybe it won't. It might hit that resistance and bounce back down and roll back off the MACD. So just something to look at right there, and something to keep in mind in the future. When you see them kind of things, you got to make sure when they run up like that, they definitely get up there, because if they don't, they're coming back down. That's just a quick look. I mean, it's just going to happen every single time. Maybe they bounce down and then get momentum up, but you can just tell you got to make sure they get in there. And look, when they get in there, they run. Look at that. They start running up there quite well. So it'll do it every time. They'll bounce up pretty good. Once they get into the top, you'll get a good movement. So that's something that you want to look at. And that's what we were looking at with gold and UAMY. Just kind of reminded me of it. So we just ran through gold. AREC, this American Resources. Now look at this one. It's a great it's another great one to follow up with, because look at it. This one is coming down, and this one looks like it wants to roll up there. Now, is it definite? No, it's not a definite. It could definitely, it could not definitely, it could pull out right there. So it's not a definite, but it could roll off also. And look at it. You just can't really tell. It could pull back, but it looks like it could continue its way up. And it's just one of the ones you got to look at in the morning. And this one looks like it's giving you a better look that it might come back down. So I would expect that to maybe fall, but it's not a definite. Like I said, it could try to make that base and curl up. I'll look at AREC, but it did have a nice run up right there. And again, it's still in the top. What you're looking for is that bounce or that curl up. And if it gets moving in there, you know it's safe to play it, because you know it's going to run up that top. So just some good examples right there on the charts. And they were just boom, boom, boom. And USA, I don't even know what this is. I meant to put USAR in, but let's look at this. It's an close-ended fund, so that's what this is. And they do dividends right there. And look at that, trying to curl up hard. I don't think it's getting through right there for the good old USA. I didn't even know there was a stock ticker USA. But yeah, look at that. That does not look like Liberty All-Star has the squad together to get through that 20 right there. I think their team's going to get beat, the Liberty All-Star team right there. So, yeah, that's not looking good for tomorrow anyway. We'll have to look at USA. Like I said, I didn't even know it was a stock ticker. USAR. We'll try that again. USA Rare Earth. I can never say this thing. It's like the weirdest thing. USA Rare Earth. There we go. And it is curling up, guys. We know we love that look like this. Look at us, 20 moving it up. Just watch for any dips, but I can assume that it's going to be moving. Look at this thing. So I think you can keep your eye on this, and maybe these other industrial metals and minings are going to get cruising again. So yeah, that's one to keep an eye on right there, your USAR. And how about that Wang and Lee? It wasn't doing much today. He was just chilling out with LGMK. Him and Logic Mark were just sitting there not doing a whole lot. So I'm not sure, but again, it's trying to get to be in the right spot right there, and it's definitely trying to get set up. So look at it, Wang and Lee. Look at him; he's right there. So I mean, it's like I said, it's right there. I'm waiting for it to just get bounced up over that 20, and you got a lot of space. So once it moves, it's going to move. So keep an eye on Wang and Lee again tomorrow. And again, I think him and Logic Mark, they were just kind of chilling today. They slept in today. They did not feel like working, and they called out. So that's what it looked like to me. I was like, are these going to do anything? And they didn't. So TGL was moving around a little bit today, and this thing's going to get set back up. Look at this curling up right here, this Treasure Global. And this one's not looking too bad as well. Look at that curling up. And I would assume it's going to get back into the $3 range. And then we're going to have to see. It might bounce back down as that trend line comes down. Then it's going to be another good setup. So keep an eye on TGL. And this Kids is looking pretty good. It did pull back like 2 cents in the after hours. But look at this thing starting to curl up pretty hefty. So it was up 2 cents today, pulled back 2 cents. And basically gave it a wash. But look at that. It's getting to be right there, guys. So watch for any dips, but you're getting to be close. It ran up a little tomorrow, and you know this thing could get cruising. And so that is your KIDZ right there. And I think that one could be a good possibility and has potential. HKPD right here. This one was moving up. And this is that one that we do like, and it ran like, or it's run by with them HKD or whatever the company was that ran like crazy. And look at this thing trying to crawl up. It's a Hong Kong company. Some of these Hong Kong things have been moving like crazy. They haven't been necessarily lately, but they could start again. And look at us rolling off right there, 101 to 110. It's at 102, and it's got to get through that 20. It's coming down, but once it gets in that channel, the 20 will move it up, and you can see it's rolling off, and that's what they like to do. They like to roll off and go. So keep your eye on HKPD. And there you go with that one. And let's see what else is going on tonight with our list. This one wasn't looking bad. CISO, it was up today. And like I said, well, it's curling up. Look at that. And that's what you want to see. You want to see that big old curl up right there. just like this one. So CISO, look at that, 48 to 58. It's at 58. It closed up there strong. Watch for that bad boy for some momentum tomorrow. And I was watching that guy, and that was looking good right there. And SHPH, this was moving a little bit today as well. And this Shuttle Pharmaceuticals was running up a little bit. And I'm not so sure it will cross through, but that was that curl up look that it did move. Look at it, curled up. Excuse me, and ran up the last 2 days as it curled. Now you might get to that line, bounce back down. So be careful with it. Just make sure it crosses through. But look at it. We know that pattern, and we're sticking to it. So that's what I'm looking at. And I did have FFAI on here, and Luis Rodriguez was saying that they could have something good tomorrow. And it did look like it bottomed out. It looked pretty good today. I actually did look at this bad boy, and yeah, it does look like it's crawling up. We might have to definitely keep an eye on this FFAI, especially after we learn that good news on that they like to run in the month of May from Nader from TrendSpider. And again, if anybody's interested in TrendSpider, you can check out that show if you're interested in it. I sent out the affiliate link. If anyone needs it, just hit me up. I'll send it to you. And again, hit up their sales team and see if it really fits for you. If you're interested, or you want to learn about it or anything, or have any questions, hit me up or Nader up, and be more than happy to help you out. You guys know that. So that's the TrendSpider, and this is this right here. This is what I'm always using, and the other one is FinViz, and we'll wait until they're I have my affiliate link up on there, but still they're waiting to get the after hours correct. But FinViz or TrendSpider is always right. It even has the after, because this thing, actually, I realized we did ask if it's the overnight hours, and since it closes at 8, it does stay there. But I guess between like 8 and 4, does anything really like move that much? You can go into the futures and stuff, I guess, and see if it's moving, and see what's going on. So you can see everything. And then at 4 a.m., when things start moving, or right around that time, this thing is moving around. I was looking at it, so it is very accurate with the pricing. And there's a tab up here that you can hit, and it's like right here. I know display extended hours data for equities, and yeah, there you go, and that will give you all of them. So it is very accurate, I must say. And so FFAI, back to that, but yeah, that was, we were talking about it on that show, and again, it likes to run 100% plus on in May. So just something to keep in mind right there, and it is looking pretty good. So keep an eye on it as well tomorrow, FFAI. And let's see what COEP. This was all right today. It was down a little bit, but wasn't looking bad. You can see it on that trend line right there. And then here's a good example right here. See how it didn't get into the top? It's actually in a good spot. You would think it would, and it could still do it tomorrow. So you're looking for it, but look how it curled down. You could still hop up there, but like I said, it's in a great spot. Or maybe it's just waiting for that 20 and 50 to meet up, because we know that's always a good look as well. But COEP, this is not a bad one right here. And you can see, like I said, maybe it pulls back into the 10 again and then gets shot up there. So definitely want to keep an eye on, especially if it pulls back a little. You might want to play that dip right there, knowing that it's setting up. And DXF was pulling back right here, and maybe we get back to this trend line. And you can see it has a bigger setup. It's in that channel. So you can probably play it in between this 20 and 50 why it gets set up here, and you might get a little pullback, but you can see it's over top, and it's just bouncing off, and it's just going to continue to set up as it's or bounce around as it's getting set up there. So that's what you're looking at DXF. And I'm going to crush through that whole thing of water so fast, I'm going to have a bottle of water, I guess. Oh well. That's crazy. It's it just flows right out when I have when I don't take the lid on it. But like I said, you can't. How does anyone drink through this thing? It like literally like trickles through. It's kind of crazy. I guess I like take a big sip. I don't know, kind of odd. But I was like, what the heck? Anyway, DXF right there. Not too bad as it's going to get set up. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. And BTCT, this was one from last night that ran up over 10%. And we liked it and said that this one had added it to the list. And boom, there you go. It was run up yesterday. It was added to the list for them. And bam, it was still run around today. So that was that BTCT. And that's not looking bad. I mean, it's still in the 50. Could they pull back a little bit? They absolutely could tomorrow. So we'll be watching it in the morning to see what crypto is going to do. And I think Sol's at like 149 and Bitcoin's at 93,395. So it did hit that 94 earlier, but it pulled back. And we'll be going through them as well. So let's keep on cruising here. PSTV, this one was up, and we had this on the list last night. Somebody added, was talking about this, and we added it on there, and it was looking really good. And bam, there you go, PSTV, and that one shot up. Yeah, it was a momentum play. I remember going over it, and that thing ran right up there. So looking good from last night. And that DATS we were talking about, was it Barb? Somebody asked about this thing, and it was trying to get set up, and it still is getting set up. You might have a little bit of pullback and see that 20 coming down, but I have a feeling it's going to get set back up if it dips a little bit. So keep your eye on DATS. We'll watch that chat right there. And CYCU, this was not looking bad either, and it was up 2 cents, and it is trying to curl up right here. So keep an eye on it. It is hitting that 20, but it wasn't looking too bad to me today. So yeah, look at it. It's like disappeared into that 20. So we'll have to see how that comes out tomorrow. CYCU and BBAI, this big bear was looking good last night. We added this and said it. We saw it on the scanner, and yeah, there you go. It was up today. I know it was up over 5%. I was looking at this guy, and there you go. It gapped up there because it closed at 265. It opened at 270 and then got up to 282 and closed at 270. So there's a big bear, BBAI. And let's look at RECT right here. Rectitude Holdings. This thing caught my eye, and especially the name. I was like, Rectitude, that's a wild name. And look at this thing trying to curl up off that trend line right there. So you might want to keep an eye on Rectitude. I don't know what the heck they do. It was a Singapore company, and they do specialty retail. I have no idea. It looks fairly new, I guess. I have no idea what they do. Yeah, I guess in June it started up, so it's June of last year. Well, obviously June of last year. We're not in June yet of this year. So yeah, it's almost a year old, it looks like. And yeah, it caught my eye, and it does look like it's trying to crawl up there, and it already ran today. It looks like 396 to 430, and it closed at 401. I don't think it was up that high when I looked at it earlier. So I'm wondering if it ran up in the after hours. I don't think so, but nah, because this has it up to 432, and it wouldn't have it there. So yeah, it definitely ran today at some point. But keep your eye on this because it is looking good. RECT right there. And this ADD is looking decent as well. It does appear to try to be curling up right there, back off that MACD. It's just been setting up. I've been keeping an eye on it. So we'll look for it to curl up. Look at that look right there, 72. It opened and closed at the same spot. It looks like it wants to curl up there. So keep your eye on ADD, Color Star Technology, and ADGM. What's this one up to right here? This one had run up the other day, and oh yeah, this one was trying to curl back up. I was looking at this one as well today, ADGM, and look at that thing trying to curl up. So you might want to keep an eye on ADGM right there because that doesn't look too bad. So there you go, a couple good ones that had caught my eye today. And this one, next one, we talked about the last few days. It just reverse split, I think, YHC. And it had been pulling back, and we'll take a look at it because it's not looking too bad right here. I don't know what I just typed in. YHC, that's a little bit better. And it went from 3 to 310, pulled back to 284. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on just reverse split. And again, it's just kind of pulling back right there, but we know it'll get set up. So we're keeping an eye on this bad boy. Look at it, YHC right there. And let's see what GRI is doing. That was up 39 cents and trying to move right there at the end of the day. I think it was cruising up most of the day, actually, GRI. And let's see, it's 157 to 211. It's at 175. It was hitting that 20 right there, but not looking bad. So you want to keep your eye on this, see if it wants to move tomorrow morning. That's a good one to keep an eye on and keep that momentum. And FBGL right here, that FBS Global, and that's one we had watched this one from the day it opened back here. I remember this in February. It seemed that was that long ago. Holy cow. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but seems like it was like literally yesterday, and I do remember jumping up there. And this actually looks good, but again, it does have some good resistance. Your 20s coming down, your 50s over it, and then it would have to cross through. Let's get a better look at it. FBGL, it's pushing through the 20, isn't it? It wasn't through there. So what did that 84 definitely ran up in the after hours, huh? So that's why it looks like this. And we'll definitely keep an eye on it because it looks way better in the after hours, I must say. And yeah, it closed at 73 down here, and it's actually up here. And you can see it right there. And that's why I say to FinViz, you can see right here on FBGL, that's a great example alone how the after hours does not work properly, but the candles don't run the exact same way. And again, they showed me they sent me a special scanner setup that if I wanted to put any in, it would show me exactly like it would FBGL. I should grab it. I'll have to look for it. I know it's in an email, but anyway, yeah, I guess they had something set up and you can see it. So I guess they're still working on it and they'll get it fixed. We have faith in them. Last time we started having faith in them, they fixed the pre-market one, and they thought they had the after hours fixed, but they're still getting it done, and that's good. But yeah, that's a good example of why you need it because, like I said, you don't even know until you come over here and you go, oh, now that looks pretty decent. So yeah, that looks way better in the after hours. FBGL, and that's the difference maker. And MBIO right here. Let's take a look at that. I think somebody had MBOT Matthew asked about. I thought it was this one. Mustang right here, the Mustang Bio. And this actually looks good. This one could take off and run like a Mustang tomorrow. Look at that thing running up there, curling up 127 and 153. It's at 143. And I'd say you got to keep an eye on that Mustang MBIO right there because that does look really good. And what did I say? MBOT. Let's look at it real quick while we're cruising through Microbot Medical right here. And let's see, that one is pulling back. Could just make a base. I think you might have to come back down a little bit more, or at least on the chart. It doesn't look too bad at the end of the day, but you can see it's going to roll off. Watch for it tomorrow and see. And they typically take like 2 or 3 days. So you're right there with MBOT to roll off that MACD. And yeah, that's that look that you look for. Look at it. Got into the top. It came back down. And now it wants to roll off that MACD and go back up. So there you go, Matthew. Not a bad one right there. So that's what you're looking for. And PEPG right here, PepGen. I'm not sure what they're up to, but the chart don't look too bad right there. Had a weird look yesterday. Let me take a look. PEPG hitting the 50 on both of them. But yeah, just wait and see if it wants to pull back a little bit. But that one's going to get set up. I do like PEPG. That's looking pretty good right there. Keep an eye on that. SBEV, that one was running up pretty big the other day, I remember. And it's still trying to run up here. Look at that. In the top, definitely might want to keep an eye on that. Let's see what it's doing. It looks like it went down in the after hours, but still not looking bad. Remember, it ran up pretty big the other day, 399 to 18. I remember that. And today, 636 to 888, the trip eights right there. And again, it's trying to get into the top. Watch this bad boy tomorrow because if it stays in there, you know it's going to get moving. And that's where they really catch some momentum. So you're going to watch that one for more of a momentum play. And that Soxel, we were looking at the ETF, and that went up $1 and was looking pretty good. That is the semiconductor bull. We were looking at that last night. We liked it. And boom, it went up some more, 994 to 1090. It's at 1046. So they are looking pretty good as well. And Lockheed Martin actually was run up a little bit, but pulled back. We could get a little bit of pullback, but you know it's going to roll off. Look at that look right there. So just watch for a little bit of dippage look and then roll back up right there for Lockheed Martin. That's what I'm looking at right there for that one. And that was probably the top for this little run, and then it'll run right back up and probably run even higher. So That is LMT. We're always keeping an eye on that. I think I got to add that to the big cap list. And Neo looking good. And I know Trump, like, I don't know what the hell he did with the yeah, I killed that thing that fast. That's crazy. Anyway, I don't know what he did, something with the cars and tariffs. Did he take them off of cars? I don't even know, guys. Again, there's so much crazy news every day. I almost don't even follow it. I just look at the charts and just say whatever. Do I trade options? Yeah, I definitely trade options. I love them. So, yeah, I trade them all: stocks, options, crypto, meme coins, whatever. I do it all. It's all fun to me. Um, but yeah, no, options are definitely a good time, especially when you're picking them right, because they can make some crazy money. That's for sure. Anyway, let's rock and roll right back. Yeah, I made like an options video of like my little system that I just kind of taught myself, and it's very odd what I do, but it definitely works. If you pick them right, it works freaking every time. It's amazing. I mean, they go up over 100% every time. It's wild. So yeah, it's you can check it out. It's on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, anyway, Neo, like I said, I don't know what he did. What he did with the tariffs or something? I forget. I know he did something. I saw somebody posted or said something. But anyway, this looks pretty good, and it's in that channel. Let's see what it's up to. And yeah, you could get it right up to that 420 for a smoke break right there for Neo. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And let's see what else is going on over here. ITRM, this was running up. It's not JITRM, it's just ITRM. And we've looked at it before. It ran up really good today. See if it can break through that if they can. I don't know what they have going on right here, but it seems to be something. I have no idea what that says. And I don't feel like reading it, to be honest with you. ITRM, and yeah, look at that thing. It's 140. It did run up, but it did get through that. So I would say keep an eye on ITRM tomorrow. That's one we had watched before. I remember we had this run up before. We liked it. It was running up really good, and obviously it pulled back. I mean, the entire market kind of ran up at that time and now pulled back. So I guess you could have played them all like that for the most part, but this one was a particularly nice one, and it had a really good run right there, ITRM. And again, it's running up again, not looking bad. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, that's for sure. And PRSO, let's see what this is doing. It was running up today, and it looks like another one that could be a momentum play. So keep your eye on this PRSO. Look at that, and that 20 is trying to curl up to run it up even higher. So another good one right there to keep an eye on for your momentum as well. And what's that say? CVKD. Is that what that says? I think CVKD. Yep. Cadrenal Therapeutics or something. I don't even know. But see if that 20 can curl back up. It was up that 14 cents right there. And let's see. CVKD. Let me look at it. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad. Again, it has to get curled up right there. That's what you're looking at. It's a little bit flat. It does look like it wants to do it, but just make sure it does it for that one. CVKD, I'm not familiar with that one. And PRTG right here, Portage Biotech. We've looked at this before. It looks like it ran up yesterday. Perhaps let's see PRTG. And it did run up yesterday. It looks like it could be pulling back a little bit right now, and then obviously come back a little bit to set up. So keep an eye on a little pullback for that one, PRTG. And that United Health one, again, I don't think it's exactly ready. It's still just running that basement, and you got a big old you're gonna have a big old fish hook. So I'd wait for it to get much better. To look much better, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's going to have that big fish hook, and it's just going to run that bottom. So we'll keep an eye on this. This one's going to be a good one to keep an eye on, and obviously track that down as it does the old fish hook, and you get them bounces as it does it. And PSQH right here, PSQ Holdings, was not looking bad today. It was trying to jump up. I think it gapped up a little bit. PSQH right there. And I believe it did, because it closed yesterday at 188 and it was up to 191. It got up and it closed at 202. It got up to 211. So yeah, that one is not looking bad right there. That's one we had looked at before, PSQH. And let's take a look and see what's going on with IONQ. And we did run through these. Remember, a blue screen right there, always fun. But yeah, we ran through these guys, the quantum ones. We talked about the ones that were going to run, and the ones we talked about absolutely did run. Was it this one was moving, but it was no, it was QUB. What the heck is it? QBTS or something like that. That one was running up there. Yeah, it was that one that we liked. And yeah, they were moving right there. So there you go with them bad boys. And the Quantum Defiance, the ETF was cruising up. So we did go through them last night, gave out them guys. They were looking good. And I mean, tomorrow we're going to have to look at them. I think we might see a little bit of pullback. We'll have to look and see what they want to do there. So let's keep on cruising right there. But yeah, that's that IONQ. And we did go through them guys. And let's see what CHSN Chanson right there. Chanson International, that looks like it's trying to curl up and looking pretty good. I would say we should keep an eye on this again. I remember this ran not long ago. But look at that thing getting set up. That looks really good. Who sent that in? Was that Barb? I don't remember, but that looks really good right there, I would say, for CHSN. And let's see what that lion is doing. LGHL. It was trying to get set up down 20 cents today. And let's see. It's going to touch that bottom. LGHL. And yeah, let it pull back a little bit. And you can see, just wait until it gets right on that trend line. Maybe that 20 and trend line want to carry it. We'll watch it and make sure it stays and then bounces right off of there in your MACD. So that's what you're going to look at for your line. We'll take a look at it tomorrow and see if it is moving along just like we wanted to. And this A-gape, I know we looked at this the other day and it did run up yesterday. It is in that top. I think it might have topped out there. You can see it pulling back. And obviously you got to be careful when they're looking like that. They could run back up, but for the most part, they come down. So that looks like it is topping out right there for ATPC. And obviously look at it early if you might get running at 4 a.m. for that final squeeze up. They do that often. And GNLN, Green Lane Holdings, I remember this was on a laptop travel list. It got out of the basement there, and that looks like it was the bottom, and it's trying to get into that channel. So this Green Lane might not be a bad one unless it pulled back drastically right there. Did it really go from 25 to 1? Yeah, I would say I wasn't even looking over there. It just went down 91, where you guys were probably looking at it like, yo, dummy, it's way down. It's like down like 90%. Oh, holy shit. I would say that went to the basement right there. So I don't know what happened to Green Lane, but they became Red Lane real quick. Holy cow, what happened? I don't see anything from today anyway, but yeah, we'll have to keep that on the list for sure. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on Green Lane right there. Anytime they go from 24.5 cents down to 2 cents, we love it. Unfortunately for the company, it's not a great look right there, but we will keep an eye and see if it wants to bounce. So watch that Green Lane right there. So yeah, that one took a huge dip. And let's look, and we did FFAI. So there you go with them bad boys. And let me take a look at the laptop travel list, and we'll go through our Jolie's jams and obviously look and see what you guys want to see. So let me know what you guys want to see. If we didn't hit anything on the list or anything like that, let me know, and we will definitely take a look at it. So here we go. We'll get cruising right through our laptop travel list, and we'll go through everything in the SPY and all them guys and see what looks good. And like I said, I was going to go through the laptop travel list. Heck does that say? ADJL, I thought. Is that what it says? ADJL. AD, it's an I. I know it is. ADIL. I know what it is. It's that one. And yeah, it's definitely that. And it is looking good, like I said, in the 20. I'm telling you, I went through the list for the most part, and almost all of these are looking pretty set up. So I'll fly through because I literally went through almost all of them and marked half of them already. So, and then I just stopped and said, we're going through all of these anyway. So here we go. I'm just going to cruise right through. And again, if you're getting stuck on ones to look for, this is just a great list to start with right here. Obviously, we pick out all the poppers. You can see them, and I'll post out the list. But when we're done, but this is just a solid list right here. It always is, of just ones. And again, they might not run 100%. You'll get some poppers out of them, but they'll run a solid 3, 5, 7, 10, 15% at any given day. All of these things, they just move around. You just got to see. And we know that they run that channel. So they're good ones to check out. And here we go. We'll cruise right through them. AMZE, another one. Look at that thing trying to curl up right there. Looking really good, I must say. And so I'll just say, just keep an eye on any of these that you really like. Like I said, it's a great list. And this one did have a little pullback at the end. I do remember. I didn't mark that one, but it was still looking good for the most part. And again, a little pullback. This one's looking good right here. That's in the channel trying to run. It did have a little bit of pullback, I think, in the after hours, but not terrible. So that one does look good right there. ARMP. And this Art Wall or something like Artsway, that's what it is. Artsway Manufacturing. This is trying to go in the channel. This one runs a lot, guys. We've talked about it before, and it just runs around a lot. So look at these candles all the time. So you can find that low and top for them and just trade that guy. So that's a good one to watch. And AYRO, this one's getting set up. It was up 2 cents, down a little bit, but look at that setup. That looks pretty good, I will say. AYRO, look at that in that channel, pretty solid. Again, the channel's getting tighter, so that's a good look. And COCP was up a little bit, and that one's not necessarily running, I don't think, tomorrow, but it did run up today and will continue to get set up. You can see it right there, dip down a little bit. We'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. And CPOP right here, isn't that a China one? Yup. And I think it did run up a little bit today, and we'll see what CPOP, if it wants to pop some more. 56 to 62, and it's at 58. It's not terrible. It has a little bit of pullback right there at the end, but we'll keep an eye and see if it wants to pop. Good old C pop. And the Dolphin was wanting to run up. Last time I said the Dolphin wanted to run up, it ran up pretty big. And look at it coming back to that MACD to curl back up there for the Dolphin DLPN. And look at that right in that channel curling up. I would say the Dolphin's a good one to keep an eye on. And again, might not run 100%, but it could have a good little run right there. ENVB. Let me see. ENVB. I can't type it in, but there we go. And it is trying to curl up right here. And look at that thing and getting to be in a good spot. Let's make sure it stayed there. Yeah, looking pretty good, I must say. And I marked that one ERNA right here. This one was just kind of flat, and it's on that 20. Would have to see if that one wants to get rolling. I think it might have pulled back in the after hours. Yeah, it did a little bit, and that's why I didn't have that one marked. And I can almost tell you, because like I said, I went through most of them. And EVTV, this one was run up a little bit today, a little bit of pullback there, so we'll keep an eye on that one, see exactly what it wants to do. And FRGT, this one is getting set up right here. Look at that. Yeah, that one's definitely looking pretty good. Might want to keep an eye on this Freight Technologies. Look at that bad boy getting set up in that channel and on that trend line right there. So we like that look. And HKIT, that one didn't look too bad. It was down a little bit in the after hours, trying to cross through a little bit of pullback. HKIT, and it did run up yesterday. And like I said, just kind of sitting there. So that one's just kind of chilling. And let's take a look at IKNA. Holy cow. IKNA. Akina Oncology, I think. And look at this thing trying to get in the right spot off that trend line. So you might want to keep an eye on that one. Has that weird look today, so we could look at it tomorrow, open and close at the same price, 121. We could look at it tomorrow if anyone's interested. And ILAG, this one's not looking good. Like Intelligent something, I forget what it is. Life something, I forget. Intelligent Living application. This is a Hong Kong one, and that's in the channel. And that 20 does look like it wants to curl up, and that 50's up there like 50 cents. So not a bad one here. Also ILAG. Look at that. That looks like it wants to run up there. It's at that 40 cents and has some momentum. So keep an eye on that one tomorrow. An IPM right here, Intelligent Protection Management. And let's see, they are a software company. And that thing looked like it was trying to roll up a little bit. Yeah, it was in that channel. So just keep an eye. It looks like it's going to maintain that channel right there. And JUNS right here, Juniper Neurosciences. Let's see. This one is in that channel and just going to stay right there for JUNS. And let's take a look at LBGJ. I think I stopped around here because I was like, well, we're going through the rest of this list. And this one was setting up to be a good one and looked pretty nice. So LBGJ, check out this guy. It was running up today and was not looking bad. And LGCL right there was another one running up into that channel, not looking bad. So there are a ton of them right here looking good. LOBO, Lobo. This one could be pulling back. You see it hitting that 20 right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And like I said, there's just so many of them that are really good setups. You can see right there, just kind of hitting that. And we'll kind of fly right through and see what their setups look like. MDAI. That one's on the 20 curling up. That's another one looking good. And let's look at the mob right here, MOB. And that was running up today. You might get a little pullback tomorrow on that one, but it'll probably stay in that channel. And NITO, NITO. Oh, that's that N2 off one. We've looked at this before. That one's trying to curl up into that channel as well. And NLSP. Let's see. That one's not looking bad right there. So keep an eye on that. That's curling up into that channel as well. And Pali, PALI, that's not looking bad as well. So yeah, there's a ton of them, guys. This is that Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. Remember, we were looking at it down here, and that one's been running up. And again, it might not run up like 100%, but that one's just gaining 1% or 2 each day, just cruising along right there. That Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, RMCF. So that's what that looks like. Getting hit that 50, and we looked at that the other day, and perfect movement for that one. RVP, Retractable Technologies. This one actually looks pretty good right there. Yeah, keep an eye on that. Could run up a little bit more up to that 50. Had some good movement today right there for RVP and SFWL. Let's see, Shengfeng Development. And that could be getting to be in a good spot as well. I'll have to look at this thing real quick. SFWL. It ran up yesterday, that's for sure. And it's just sitting there. I look at that tomorrow, but it does look like it's trying to run up a little bit, but it did run up pretty big yesterday. And Silo right here, SILO, that's trying to get curled up, not looking bad right there. So, like I said, just a ton of them in that channel trying to move, and these are a solid list. And SOPA right here, SOPA, another good one. So, just a whole bunch of them right there that you could play. And again, you might not get 100%, but look at this one, Society Pass. It went up 5 cents. It's up over 6% right there. So that's what I'm talking about. And there you go, a bunch of easy ones right there. Let's go ahead and look and see what else I missed over here. Blue Collar Teamster and Sam's on there, and Luis Rodriguez and Matthews on there. And let's see what's going on. Boom. Let me get back. TOPW right here, Justin. Let's take a look at that Top Wealth. Isn't that what that is? Top Win. And oh yeah, that's that new one. Top Wealth is a different one that we looked at. That's at TWG. We looked at that one already. And that was running up in the after hours. But let's get back to TOPW. That is that new one from Hong Kong. And not looking bad, was running up today. Let's see. TOPW. 257 and 287. Yeah, it's not looking bad. I don't know if it's going to get blasted off. You can see it's trying to get set up. So, yeah, I'll look at it tomorrow and get a better idea. And again, it doesn't have much data, so it's a fairly new one. We've been watching it. We didn't remember it popped up for us, and it does not look bad right there. So we can look at that in the morning if you remind me right there. And let's see what else. What else am I missing here? And I think I got everything. MBOT, and let's see if I missed anything over here. Genius GNS for BK. Let's look at that one real quick. And let's see what GNS is doing. Genius Group. Oh, yeah. Look at that popping up right there. Not looking bad. So that one's cruising along. GNS. And that looks like it might be cruising up there. So that's a good one. GNS, the good old Genius Group. So keep an eye on that one. not bad for today. And looks like it could have some momentum tomorrow. So BK, there you go with that. And tomorrow's economic calendar, let's take a look at it and see at 8:30 initial jobless claims, and then the durable goods orders and core durable orders of business investment and existing home sales and all kinds of good stuff right there. And they do say it. I think down here we actually realized somewheres it used to say it. Like I said, I don't even know where it went. Anyway, yeah, I thought it used to say it here. Am I nuts? What's today? Nothing today, or today was Wednesday, right? I don't even know. Yeah, today's Wednesday, right? I think so. Yeah, it's gotta be Wednesday. Yeah. How do I not even know the day? Anyway, Thursday, yeah, durable orders. There you go. You're talking all that stuff. And then tomorrow's one thing. So, yeah, there you go. I was like, I know we discovered this the other day. Where'd it go? But yeah, that's where it is. And it shows you that good stuff. Thank you, Luis Rodriguez, though. Appreciate that because I probably would have forgotten. You have a nice little list here. Let's go through it. TGT, I think that is Target. And wasn't that down today? Yeah, Target, that was down today and pulling back a little bit. So let's look at that Target and see what the target is. And it does look like it's going to be pulling back some. So keep an eye on Target. It does look like it's going to pull back, and then we'll obviously try to catch it as it rolls off that MACD right there, hits that bottom and rolls off. So that's what we're looking at. And good old Hut 8 Corp. This one likes to run with crypto, and it did run up into that channel today. And let's see what it's up to. Good old Hut. Yeah, it has that open and close around the same price look. It does look like it's kind of just flattening out. We'll look at it tomorrow. It is in the channel, though. That's a good thing, but it could pull back right there. I'm not convinced it's really ready to fly. And so we will look at it. In Bristol Myers, look at this thing coming down. They have earnings coming up tomorrow, and that thing looks like it's pulling back some more right there. Let's look at Bristol Myers. And right here, it's trying to curl up. It must look better in the after hours. It said it was going down. I don't know. BMY. I'd have to look at it, but it looks like maybe it's trying to make a base there and try to curl up for the earnings. Again, I'm not a big earnings person. It is way down there in the basement. So if you like it, there you go with BMY. Again, I'm not an earnings person for tomorrow for that one. Boeing shot up today, and they did have earnings. What, yesterday was it? No, today. They were today, and it shot up. And I'm not convinced that this one wants to stay up there that much. So maybe, I mean, look at it. It is running, but I think it could pull back. I'm not completely convinced that these things want to completely run tomorrow. NOC, is this the one that took a huge dip? Yeah. This Northrop Grumman took a big old dip the other day. So we'll have to let it get set up. I think it might make a base. It did run up today, though. That was a nice little pop up on it for sure. But I'm not so sure it's ready to really get rolling. You're going to see this thing have to get set up on a pullback like that for NOC. And we did Lockheed Martin, not looking bad. Again, might pull back a little bit tomorrow. And HII is at Huntington Ingalls, and that's making a nice base there to get set up. I would say that's a great one to keep an eye on. HII right here. And look, it's going to roll off and go up. So I would say that's a decent one. LVS is Las Vegas Sands Corp, and they do have earnings, or had them today, it looks like. And not bad. Cross through, trying to get into that channel. I'd have to look at that one probably tomorrow to get a better idea. Hitting that 20 could be pulling back right there for LVS, but it did run up pretty nice. And TM, your Toyota Motor, did you lock them in? I'm not sure, but look at that thing, keeps running up. It could continue to run up even. Yeah, I mean, that thing could continue to run up right there and get all the way up to that 190 or at least 185, somewhere's in that range. But I mean, lock them in. I would definitely start to think about it as it's cruising up there. That's for sure. But that was a beauty right there for Luis Rodriguez. And ABNB, Airbnb is cruising up today. And again, I'm not so convinced. They do have earnings coming up May 1st. And ABNB, that's not looking bad right there. I'd have to look at it 117 to 122. It's at 118.15 or 118.50, and not looking terrible. So I'll keep an eye on that one. Laptop Travels on there, and FBGL we looked at right there, and FFAI, some significant updates. And this exclusive event, what are they doing? Something tomorrow, and event will unveil key updates and provide attendees with a first-hand look at the cutting edge innovation, advanced design, and AI driven performance that they're doing something. I have no idea, but I'll retweet it out and you can check it out about FFAI. And yeah, that wild ride for the Trump meme coin. Like I said, it started at like $9 and went right to 13 or 14. It was pretty crazy today. I did see that one. We got through them guys. And I think we got all that good stuff. So let's keep on cruising here and we'll see what's going on with our big caps and our SPY and all that good stuff now. So let's roll and go right on through it and see what happened there. Hold on. I don't even know. Oh, okay. I have no idea what just happened there. But anyway, I just made Matthew hop up on the screen real quick. And here we go. There's Airbnb. And let's take a look at our SPY, our big caps, and see what they're up to here. Our SPY was obviously up, and then it kind of pulled back. It was up like $16 or something crazy, I think, wasn't it? At one point, I'm pretty sure it was up pretty good. Let's see what it do. It opened at 536, and it went up to 545 right there, and then it closed at 536. So yeah, it went way up and came back down. And again, I don't know. It's staying up there tomorrow. Let's put it that way. So we will look at it at 7 a.m. You guys know that. But let's go ahead and look at our Mag 7 first and then our other big caps. And they popped these things up over to 20 in these trend lines, which was pretty impressive. And I'm not so convinced that they completely want to run. So I was saying the other day they needed to do it to get out of that real bearish trend. They did it. And now we'll have to see if they keep them in this trend and in these pockets right here. So we will definitely be looking at them first thing in the morning, like always. But look at them. They all look the exact same, crossed through, jumped up. And I'm not convinced that they want to keep running up just at the moment. I'm not saying that they're not getting set up, but again, hitting that 20 and could bounce down. I think you have a little more setup time. And again, the trade thing's still going on, all this craziness. These are just big overreaction, guys, and you got to see the correction on it because nothing's really happening there. Google does report tomorrow, and it's sitting on that trend line. It's an interesting look. I'm not going to lie, but we'll have to see what happens with it and see if it wants to stay in that trend. And that is your GOOG, good old Google. And let's look at Meta right here. And that was up almost $20. And again, it's just setting up. I don't think it gets through these resistance right here. So that's what I see. And again, I think we have to pull back a little bit and then get set back up. Microsoft was up today, and I think it could get pulled back. And again, let's look at it trying to cross through right here. And I'm not so sure it can. And I think there was another one, although this thing looks all crazy because it looks like it was already rolling off of there. And this thing looked like it crossed through and came down. So I'll have to look at that tomorrow. I have no idea what just happened there. Look at that. That's like two different worlds right there. What the heck's going on? It's on the 20. It looks like it's rolling off. I have no idea, guys. That's kind of crazy. I'll have to look at that and see what's going on there with Microsoft. Looks like they're two different worlds. Didn't look like that earlier either, so I'm not exactly sure. I thought it was curling up, and if I remember correctly, because it had gone through, but I'll have to look at it tomorrow morning and get a better idea. And the video right here, let's look at that. It ran up and it's pulling back, and again, yeah, NVIDIA and Microsoft had that same exact look. I remember, and yeah, I don't know what the heck that was about, but let's see what this one. Maybe this one's doing the same thing. And yeah, it is. Holy cow, that's so weird. I know they were crossed down like this, trying to cross up. I have no idea. That's so bizarre. But we'll look at them tomorrow. And again, I just don't think NVIDIA is getting through into that channel, though. So that's all that matters. I don't care what what it looks like. That's just what it looked like to me all day. And I thought they were going to pull back maybe tomorrow. Tesla ran up. And again, how do you get crushed on your earnings and then run up like $12 plus? And it just makes zero sense. And I know that they had some kind of crazy, stupid news, but yeah, I just don't get how that works. And let's see. I'm just trying to see. They had some kind of news today. I forget what it was, but anyway, yeah, it definitely came down, or it went up with their earnings coming way down there. So pretty crazy. But anyway, that's Tesla and our Mag 7, and we'll obviously be looking at them first thing in the morning. And let's look at AMC right here. That was just kind of bouncing around. And another one, look at it. It was trying to get moving, but I don't think it's exactly ready. GameStop wasn't looking bad, but it did pull back right there. And Chewy was looking good, but also pulled back. So could be a little healthy pullback for Chewy. Not gonna lie, that one does not look bad right there. So, and even GameStop gets curled up, it won't look bad. But Chewy looking pretty good, I must say. And how about Unity right here? That's up 78 cents and hitting that 50 right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And let's take a look at Netflix. That's our next one. NFLX. And let's see, that one is up $9. And it's like I said, it was going over 1,000, but it might just have to pull back as it gets set up because it did run up pretty good. And look at this setup. So could have a little pullback and then it get really running up there right there for Netflix. And let's look at our semiconductors AVGO. That was up $7 and that looked like it was trying to continue to curl up. I'm not going to lie. Look at this thing. It looks pretty good to me to try to run up. And again, that Soxel looks good, which is the semiconductor ETF. And MU wasn't looking bad either. It is hitting that line and trying to cross through. Let's see what it did here. And it crossed through. It's hitting that 20. We'll see. Maybe it'll get into that channel tomorrow. We'll definitely look at it. TSM, another one wasn't looking bad into that 20 and was not looking bad there. And SMCI, another one not looking bad over the 20. So again, these ones are looking pretty good. You can see that one's got to cross through. So they do have some stuff happening. It's got to get into that 20. They're trying to cross through. It could pull back. I will be looking at them in the morning. That's for sure. They haven't left anything real easy. That's lately anyway. But AMD looked like it was kind of pulling back today, and it ran up, but it looks like it's going to pull back right there. I know I was looking at it earlier, and again, it doesn't look like it's getting through the 20. It did cross through, but it's in that spot where it could pull itself back. And QCOM wasn't looking too bad. It was run up there into the 20 like all of the other ones and just kind of hanging out there. So another one just kind of chilling in between that channel. And we'll see if it really wants to get moving. So again, they all have that crazy weird look, and we'll be looking at them early in the morning. Intel hitting that line and the MACD, and I don't think it's getting through tomorrow. So again, I think tomorrow could have a little bit of pullback here. And PayPal right there has that same look. So yeah, it's pretty universal. They're all pretty much going the same route. Look at Snow over to 20. Is it going to keep going though? I'm not exactly sure right there. It's a crazy look. And let's see, SNOW. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Snow does not look bad right there in the after hours. So it was up $2 in the after hours. That's what I was just noticed. So yeah, that one's not looking too bad, I must say. And Dell right there, it's not looking bad, but it doesn't look like it wants to get crazy either. And let's see what Palantir, that was over $100 today, and that does look pretty good. We've known that one looked good. Sophie was up a little bit, and that one could get pulled back a little bit right there. And Mara and Riot, they were running great, but you might see a little bit of pullback. And there you go. They're in the channel. They're set up real nice, but again, you might see some pullback. Clean Spark, we nailed that one perfectly. Ran up again. Look at that. It looks like it's topping out for the moment so that this thing can set up and get booming. So that's what it looks like to me. And we'll be looking at them tomorrow. And Coinbase right here is up 480, hitting that 50. Could be pulling back. And Robinhood, same situation. It was curling up right there. It wasn't looking too bad. But it's hitting that 50 and could be pulling back. So that's what they look like. And let's see what else is going on. Our DJT, that was up today, and that looks like it's about to hit some resistance in the top and come back down a little bit and get set up. Fun trying to finally run up. I told you that would get fun finally. It was just sitting around doing nothing yesterday. And Mountain, this thing's been kind of a disaster, was curling up. I don't think, remember we said this too yesterday, it'll probably curl up and run, but I don't think it'll get through. And that's exactly what that looks like. And MCD, good old McDonald's, it looks like it's going to bounce back down right there. And we did go over Boeing already. And again, I don't think it popped up there, but I'm not so sure it's going to stay up. And Space was running up today. And remember, we've been saying it was a disaster, but looked good yesterday. And there you go. It was up over 10.5% right there. So that was a pretty nice one. SPCE. And IBM wasn't bad either. That was running up. Oh, it got crushed in the after hours. They had earnings, didn't they? And look, that looks green. Looks like they beat their earnings and got crushed again. I don't get earnings, so I don't play them. But here you go. We'll be keeping an eye on IBM. That's for sure. With that dip, we like that. And let's take a look at Disney. That was up a little bit, jumping to the 20. And again, I don't know if they're getting through into that channel. Oxy and ExxonMobil, same look, right? I mean, you don't even know these two charts are different besides the price. It's kind of crazy. So they look the exact same. And Nike right here. Let's see what Nike's doing. It's not looking too bad right there. And DXYZ, that is just kind of running up, but we'll get knocked down. And our Jolie's Jams, I missed them completely. Agrify right here, that was pulling back. I was taking a look at that today, and that Blink Charging BLNK, and that one's trying to curl up. It's trying to. Let's see if it will get up there to that 20 to get set up. And let's look at Sezzle right here. And that one, not looking bad, I must say. Sezzle doesn't look too bad right here. SEZL, it might pull back to get set up a little bit better, but it's not looking bad. And Sterling was running. Remember, guys, I told you this thing was going to run up back up to that 200, and I think you're going to see it soon. So keep an eye on Sterling. Look at that curl up right there. Not looking bad. STRL and Rivian, RIVN. And that thing was jumping up, but I'm not exactly sure it's going to stay up there. And there's Symbotic right there, was running up and hitting the 50 and probably coming back down. So there you go right there. And KWE could be a reverse split play. Let's take a look at KWE, and that's Key West Microsystems. And you're right. If it's splitting tomorrow, it will. It's split today. So yeah, keep an eye on that bad boy for sure. I would definitely keep an eye on KWE, Sam saying, and I would too. That did reverse split, or does it reverse split tomorrow? Today's the 23rd. It says, I have no idea what's going on. This says the 22nd, and today's the 23rd. I'm not even sure what happened, but it does have it moving here. So, and that's the 22nd. So I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to look at that tomorrow, KWE, but keep an eye on it in the morning and see if it is trying to cruise there to Jolie's Jams. And let's look at our crypto real quick, and let's see what we're at. Bitcoin's at 93,476. Solana's at 150. Ethereum's back under 1,800 at 1,797. Let's see. Ripple's at 221 right there, and Cardano's at 69.5. So there you go. And let's take a quick look and see what we're looking at right here. BTC, USD. And let's see. Here we go. Yeah, look at them. I think they're going to pull back a little bit. We'll look at it tomorrow, obviously, but like I said, I think everything had a big run up and a big reaction, and it might have to have a little bit of pullback even with the crypto. We'll see what's going on. See them in this channel trying to get set up, but they're obviously getting set up and looking way better than they did, and we're getting some movement out of them, so that's good. And look, Solana looks like it does want to run, though. Solana looks like it could get cruising right there. And Ripple, that was inside that channel, right? Let me do it right. XRP. No. XRP. There we go. Now it's right. And here we go. And that's over to 50. That's right. I forgot. And yeah, that's going to get set up. Maybe it jumps back down into that channel. So crypto not looking bad. I know the ETF was just hovering around 7 million market cap. Not sure where it's at right now. I'll take a quick look at that one and see. Let's see, 7 million is what it says. So yeah, it's just been hovering right around there all day, honestly, just running up a little bit and staying around that 7 million. But last time it pulled back like this, this KWE was delayed until Thursday. The last time the ETF pulled back like that a day, it ran up a whole nother level the next time. So there you go. And I think we nailed everything. I think I got to all that stuff and all this. I think we got to all that. We did our crypto and our laptop travel list, our Joey's jams, and everything else. So yeah, I think we're pretty good shape and know what we're doing for tomorrow. ENSC. We looked at that like a week or two ago, and that one ran up like 100% today. And let's see what's going on over here. Stock rally loses steam after wavering tax tariff news. Relief rally stutters as markets take shock of Trump's U-turns. I'm not even sure what happened. Gold prices plunge in biggest one-day drop in years as the record rally over. I'm not so sure about that. And S&P futures rise after major averages post back-to-back gains, and U.S. stock futures trade flat as Wall Street pins hopes on trade deals. And let's just see if there's anything going on. I bet we already looked at it all. I can almost promise you that we did. And there you go. It's a bunch that we already looked at. That OCEA has been pulling back. And Open, that's been pulling back down there. And again, it's just a bunch that we were looking at. Keep an eye on that AREB for tomorrow, not looking bad. And that's SLXN that ran up. That was on our list not long ago. And here's your green lane dipping down pretty hard. And DNN, that's a uranium one. So keep an eye on that. I like that one. I was mentioning that one before on that small cap show. And look at this bad boy getting set up. Might want to add DNN to the list right there. It's not looking too bad. Look at it in that channel right there. So there you go with that. And let's just see if there's anything going on over here real quick that we missed. Oh, CEP, this one ran up pretty big. It was a shell company. Did we mention this last night? We mentioned the shell company, and I don't remember what it was, but that thing ran like a monster. And here's that Green Lane and Agriforce. We were talking about that one. And JYD, and let's see what else is going on. I think we pretty much went through everything. And I don't see anything just jumping out at me right there. So again, we'll go through it all at 7 a.m., 4 a.m. We're definitely not going through it all, but 7 a.m. we'll definitely go through it all and see what's going on with the SPY and exactly how it wants to open up and what wants to happen there. Let me see if I'm missing anything over here. Let's take a quick look. And yeah, that Trump coin did go crazy. Holo was way down today. We had looked at that the other day after the reverse split. And remember, we were saying that it let it get set up, it pulled back. So we're going to let that get set up even better. IBM way down, and that CEP up. And Pony, what's that? Pony, what the heck is that one? Pony AI Inc. And that thing's running up right there. Keep an eye on the Pony because that one could run. And there you go. I would say we did a pretty good market review right there. And yeah, that Pony is running up, so keep an eye on that for some momentum right there. And that Now right there, Service Now was running way up today, so keep an eye on that bad boy and see if it has any more momentum in the morning. So there you go, everybody. I think we nailed everything. Let me see if I got it all. And yeah, I think so. And I would say that's a really good market review. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, hanging out. Obviously, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. And thanks again for hanging out, tuning in, sending over a bunch of great stock tickers because we do have an amazing list. And I will take a picture of it and send it out with my notes on it. So I will do that. Let me put it over there. And yeah, there you go. I actually moved the stock cube over to the other side and made more room. That's why the microphone was all messed up because I was moving stuff around and making more room. And but yeah, it definitely I think works out better. Anyway, I will take a picture of that and make sure I send it out to you guys so you can see what my notes were and the rest of the watch list, whatever I wrote down there. So I think that's a real solid watch list for tomorrow. I can say that. And I think we have a great idea of what's going to be moving around tomorrow. So we'll be back at 4 a.m. I keep saying 4 a.m. at 7 a.m. to cover the market, see what the SPY's up to, the big caps and the crypto and everything else. So be sure to tune in at 7 a.m. Eastern time, and we will definitely be on at that time. So if you don't follow along on X, YouTube, and all that good stuff, and post a comment, even though half the comments on X are just spam anymore. We were talking about that nonsense. And yeah, that was so funny. Who was it? OV Grows. He wrote that basically like a spam message with me in it. It was pretty funny. And he said, for 9K, for what, 9,000 a week, you can make like 450 million. It was pretty funny. It was definitely made me laugh. And it is crazy that you post a comment and you get 17 spam messages within 3 seconds. I mean, they're clearly bots. I mean, nobody in their right mind could even do it like that. So yeah, Elon better clean up all them bots, or X is going to be a shit show and not worth anything. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a good market review and an X review right there. So they better get that figured out, because again, it's almost useless anymore. You can't do anything. And I'm not sure if it's because people are trying to monetize all the clicks and stuff like that, if that's how it all started. Maybe it's a sabotage on Elon. I have no idea, but it's definitely destroying the entire platform. You can see that happening for sure. So there you go, everybody, and thanks again for tuning in to the live show. We'll be back at 7 a.m. and we do this every night at 9 p.m. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, let me know. You know, I'm always around answering questions and helping people. So if you do have a question, shoot me a message on X or post a comment, and I'll definitely respond. So that's that, and let me know what you guys are looking at for the morning. We'll go over it at 7 a.m. and we'll cover the rest of the market, our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns and everything else, crypto and everything else market related that we need to see. So there you go, everyone. I hope everyone has a great night. Enjoy your evening and study up. I think we have a great list. I don't think you have to study after you watch this show. We have a pretty good idea of exactly what's going on at all times. So just wake up at 7, tune in, and you'll know exactly what's happening. And we'll probably nail the market again tomorrow, and probably a couple more poppers, and hopefully LGMK Logic Mark wakes up tomorrow, because that was like dead asleep today. I don't know what the heck happened to it, but it was pretty funny that it just did not want to move. It was like a slow guy. It just was flat as can be. It just did not move at all. I thought maybe after lunchtime it would wake up, and LGMK. And yeah, it was just completely flat right here. Look at that line, just flat as can be, just literally like nothing. And so we'll have to see what it's up to tomorrow. Maybe somebody will poke the bear and wake it up, because again, it's right there. I mean, can you get any closer, guys? It's like literally right there. And Faisal wants to see PRTG. I just noticed that. So let's check it out. Portage Biotech. I think we might have checked this one out. It was running up. Let me see. It might be pulling back right there. PRTG. Yeah, I don't. After that run up yesterday from that 925 to 1582, and then you got some run up there today. I'm not so sure it wants to run up. I'll look at it again tomorrow. Let me jot it down real quick. What is it? PRTG. I think we looked at it at some point tonight. I kind of remember it, but I'll write it down at the bottom, and I'll take a look at it tomorrow. PRTG. And we'll get a better idea right there, and we'll see what it wants to do. So there you go, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. Everyone have a great night. I will catch you guys at 7 a.m., and then we'll do our pre-market live show and make sure we know what's popping, so you guys can catch another JYD like that, 160%. And like I said, we had a bunch of them over 100% today. And we do it even when the market's red. It doesn't matter. So you'll know what's popping, what's happening. And you can't even trade them all. You pick the ones that you like. You trade them smart. You lock them in. Move on to the next one. And that's the way you rock and roll them. MLGO, let's see real quick. and that one had run up yesterday or the day before, and that looks like it might be that one's pulling back at the moment too. You can see that one, that 20 is going to push it down to that 50. So yeah, I think that's getting pushed down right there. And you had that big run up the other day, and that was that pop on that one. So there you go, Faisal. And again, I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. So let me know if you want to see anything in the morning, and we'll take a look at it. So until then, have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys at 7.